where the wrestling truth resides.
Privately earlier, before you were saying that you had a different scoop about Primer with New Jack.
Oh,
I want to hear.
You mean the thing what happened with Wilder, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Primer led into it, but he didn't give the full details. So I'll give you the details. First, Primer, I gave Primer the venue. I had taken it over that Bangor venue, which was a nice venue. Neil used to run a company called Aiden Andrews. You run NCWE, North Coast Wrestling Entertainment, and they used to run shows in Ohio with Mark Godfrey, and then they came back and he got this venue somehow.
Backyard thing that they did, or was this?
They did like a set. It was like professionals and slightly trained people. It was a thing they did in Ohio. I couldn't tell you because I wasn't there for any of that. But when he came back here, they wanted to go reopen their company and they got this venue. Well, Mark was there to help, but he didn't want to be funding any of it. Neil did it. And then I think Vaughn from Crown of Maine helped finance some of the shows and get it going. Eventually, Neil got burnt out and didn't want to run shows anymore. I can't say about him. It's a lot of freaking work. But he gave me the venue and I ran a couple shows there. Well, I gave Primer this venue, and he's doing his first big Primer Inc. Presents show. He brings in New Jack. Tony Atlas was there, which that was super awkward because Tony Atlas and New Jack don't get along.
Why?
Because New Jack knows Tony to be a company man.
Oh.
And New Jack don't like company man.
You don't
guys,
like
the WWE guys are company guys. So anyway, fast forward to the part we're talking about. So the main event is Larry Wilder and Rob Marsh. Well, first off,
my boy,
they couldn't get any. New Jack's opponent changed multiple times.
I wonder why.
It originally was supposed to be Cactus. It was originally supposed to be Cactus. Pwop, pwop, Cactus. The knockoff Cactus Jack. His name's Donnie. Dangerous Donnie. Cactus. Pwop, pwop. He cuts a promo.
So bad.
On New Jack. It was like slight shoot, slight not. And then New Jack cuts a promo back where he threatens to murder him and his family.
Which he would have done.
Probably would have done.
So magically, Cactus cancels. And then Rob Marsh is supposed to wrestle New Jack directly.
And Marsh don't give a fuck about it.
But Marsh's ride had ended up backing out. So it left the only person that was like not booked but would do hardcore stuff is Larry Wilder. But Larry Wilder does like the old, remember the hardcore belt back in the day, like Road Dogg and Al Snow and all them fighting for the WWE hardcore shit. He doesn't do like deathmatchy stuff.
Yeah.
And so Primer ends up finding somebody that's willing to give Rob Marsh a ride. But I had already told Wilder he's going to wrestle New Jack. So he's like, I'm going to do one better. New Jack's bringing Kareem. Kareem used to also wrestle for ECW. I don't know if y'all know that, but he did. He also broke his leg in ECW, but he used to wrestle in ECW. So Kareem had reached out from New Jack and said he was coming. So Primer's like, fuck, if he's free, sure, I'll use him. That's awesome. So we had an ECW guys versus Wilder and Rob Marsh, but he's going to have Wilder and Rob Marsh fight it out like a national match, and then they come in and beat the shit out of both of them. Anyway, little to very many people know, Larry Wilder was my brother-in-law because I had married his sister at one point. I was married for like 6 years. I was married, and then I got separated and divorced and all that fun stuff. Well, I was dating Sarah at the time, and Wilder was still wrestling. I trained Larry Wilder because, like I said, he was my brother-in-law. I trained him for free, mind you. So anytime me and Sarah were together on shows, which was all the time back then, he would tell everything that's happening with me and Sarah to his mom, which is my ex-wife's mom. So I was hearing all this shit from my ex-wife all the time, like all this bullshit. And me and New Jack were just like, me and Sarah were having a talk. She was there to watch the show. She wasn't on the show, but we were talking. and I introduced her to New Jack, and me and New Jack had been talking. All the old guys seem to come to me, and we all start shooting the shit about old shit. Wonder why. Anyway, I explained to him that, that one of the guys he's wrestling is my former brother-in-law. He goes, really? And I'm like, yeah. And I had to just let it slip that he was always running his mouth to my ex-wife's mother, my former mother-in-law. He goes, really?
Oh.
Eric, you're the reason why.
So, hold on. We're going to get to it. Don't ruin it yet. I didn't say nothing else. But I could tell. He's like, son of a bitch. He's like, all right. So me and Primer had seen us talking a couple different times. Like I said, me and any of the old guys in wrestling, me and them always end up hitting it off because we always talk about old shit. So fast forward, the match happens. And obviously, Wilder takes the finish, which is where New Jack jumps off the top rope full Cactus Jack style and skateboards that light tube covered chair off of Wilder's face.
Yeah.
And fucks Wilder up real fucking good. Also, Wilder was wearing new gear that match. I don't know why. He was wearing brand new gear that his girlfriend had bought him.
Oh.
And New Jack proceeds to ruin this brand new set of gear he's wearing because he's hitting him with light tubes, a pizza cutter, a sickle. I think someone hit somebody with a keyboard from a computer. Like, there's a bunch of shit. New Jack fucked his day up. And Kareem had a baseball bat wrapped in shoot barbed wire. It wasn't even clipped. It was hitting him with that shit right across his singlet. Brand new singlet. Was hitting that shit right across his fucking spine.
I don't clip
Fucking his shit up. So, of course, I end up hearing shit later. Not so much about me and Sarah this time, but how I essentially put a hit out on Larry. I'm like, what? And this is while I'm still at the venue. I'm hearing this shit from my ex-wife, which is, she's getting yelled at from her mom, my former mother-in-law. I'm hearing this shit from my ex-wife. And I'm still at the venue. I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I? I thought I was getting yelled at about the Sarah thing again. Like, oh, no shit about Sarah. Like, this is my ex-wife. Like, it's over with. I'm hearing all this shit. No, she was mad because it's like I put a hit out on Larry Wilder. I'm like, what? And so I go talk to New Jack, who, mind you, he's bleeding out his fucking hand. He's like bandaging his shit up. I'm like, New Jack, did you kick the shit out of Wilder for me? He's like, because they think I paid you money, like put a hit out on Wilder. He's like, nah. He's like, nah. Snitches get stitches. I did that shit for motherfucking free. So
I did that shit for free.
He's like, nah. Snitches get stitches. I did that shit for motherfucking free. I was like,
And that's why I love New Jack.